Hi everyone, happy Thursday. I hope your Thursday is finding you well. So I didn't really have a conversation today, so I thought I would go to random conversation and see what it pulls up. Let's see, random and random. If you can go back in time and prevent a great catastrophe, which one would you prevent? I would, of course, the first one that pops into my mind is 9/11. I would absolutely change that one. That was the one that really hit really close to home for thousands of people. Not only did thousands of people perish, it has killed us financially, it has killed us emotionally, it has changed the way that we walk, talk, act, spend money, feel. Several people got thicker skin and got harder. A lot of people went more emotionally insane. Financial stability is out the wall. You can't just go out and go buy a house or a car. You have to actually think now, to the way that conversations that you have to be careful of, whether you're in a mall, your school, airports, bus stations, it doesn't matter. You have to be very, very careful of how you are talking, because somebody might hear you and might take what you say by accident, and yeah, the whole thing will go up in smoke. So, with that, I actually do have a story which I have not ever said since that day. And it's really hard for me to say because I'm trying not to choke up and start crying. But on September 8th, several years ago today, September 8th, I was waiting for a friend who works for another airline, and we were going to go to lunch, and unfortunately she was involved with the mechanical, which means basically something's wrong with the plane. Mechanics are there, they're trying to fix the plane. And I walked up to her and I said, "Hey, are you ready for lunch?" She goes, "Oh, I got a mechanical. It'll be just a few minutes if you can wait." I'm like, "Yeah, no problem." All right, then her coworker, who was down at the plane waiting and babysitting the plane, said, "Hey, this is going to be a minute. Can you send down my book?" And she said, "Yeah, no problem. I'll bring it down right now." Well, right then, a guy walked up, or ran up actually, and I just remember looking at this guy's eyes because he kept on looking at me, and he just had this really weird, evil eye going, and I just remember looking at him going, he looks really evil. He looks really mean, like a mean guy with a bad heart. And I felt very uncomfortable, like he was very angry. And I kept on giving Shayla the signal. I was like, does he have a reservation? Well, she found his reservation. He was booked on a later flight, and he went on, he was trying to go on that flight, so of course she found seats and got him on the plane. So right before she went through the security door, she said, "Can you give this to my coworker down there? It's her book." He said yes. So he goes through the door, has the book in his hand, and he gets on the plane. And I said, "Gosh, that guy looks really mad, like really angry." And she goes, "I know, he looked it, but he wasn't showing anything," which of course that's what we have to watch for. And I just remember within about 5 minutes, the plane pushed and her coworker walking up, and she goes, "Hey, where's my book?" She goes, "I gave it to the last passenger. You didn't get it?" And she said, "No." And so they contacted the pilot. The pilot wasn't responding because the pilot was already on the FAA side. So of course I contacted FAA. I said, "Hey, can you get a hold of this pilot and tell him that there's a book that's in this guy's seat? Can you get that book and get it back to Salt Lake City, or just throw it out the window for one of the ramp guys can grab it and bring it up?" And so we never did contact the pilot. And a couple days later, on September 10th, I seen the coworker and I said, "Hey, did you ever get your book back?" And she goes, "No, no, and in fact, that really upsets me because that was a library book, so now I'm going to have to pay for it." I said, "Oh, I'm really sorry." I said, "It's my weekend, so have a good weekend." And I remember going home, and I went to sleep like at 3 o'clock in the morning, like I do almost every single night. And for whatever reason, I never wake up early at all on my weekends. But that day, I woke up at exactly 8 o'clock. And I came out here. I got out of bed, came out here, turned on the TV. Another thing I don't ever do. And that's when everything was happening. And they didn't understand what was going on with the first tower that was crashed into. And they smoke and flames and everything. And there was reports that it was an airplane, but nobody knew for sure. And I just remember calling my partner in and saying, you need to watch this. So we sat down and watched it for several hours. And I remember this one clip that it was somebody's camera from across the bay. And this plane like flew over, turned around, and dropped down and was literally skimming the building tops, and then went up and went right into the second tower. That was the only one and only time I ever have seen that clip. So I seen that, and immediately I was just like in shock. I was just like, okay, now we are under attack. At one point I was actually angry because where the hell was the president? Why wasn't he on TV saying, okay, people, this is what we need to do? At least tell us what was going on. But he was in hiding. He was in hiding, so I felt like I was absolutely lost. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say, and all I could do is just sit there and cry. So that day I got a call saying, hey, we need you to come into work. The airport's shut down, but we need you to come into work. So I came into work, and no words. Of course, we were watching TV most of the day. I came into work the next day again, and again, nothing. And I remember on September 13th, somebody said, oh, they have pictures of the terrorists in there. And I opened up the newspaper, and I dropped the newspaper and ran over to the garbage can and started throwing up. The pilot of the second aircraft was the guy that was standing less than a foot away from me, maybe 2 feet away from me, giving me dirty eyes. And he's the one that stole the book. True story. Anyways, guys, this is a really weird one. I'm sorry I kind of went way off topic. But the question of the day is, of course it went away. Basically, what's the worst catastrophe that you will change? Or however I worded it at first. Sorry guys, I will be better tomorrow, and I will see you the day after tomorrow's yesterday. Bye.